think one of the reasons why the students think that my presentation is so effective is because I don't try to scare them out of getting pregnant or an STD. I mean, and I talk about those things, but I talk about sex in the context of a much bigger picture because so much of what I hear from teenagers has very little to do with, they just wanted to have sex because their hormones. And that's what a lot of adults attribute their choices to. It's like, well, you know what, they're teenagers, their hormones out of control, they're going to do it anyway. But let me tell you, I don't even think hormones is in the top 5 reasons why teens have sex because of raging hormones. Because what I hear most often from them in the letters that they write me is I had sex because I was, the only one in my group that was still a virgin. Because I wanted to have something to talk about when all of my friends talked about what they were doing in their relationships. Because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be popular. I mean, it's all about other people and not this is what I wanted to do. And so one of the things I tell them in class is I said, I have some good news and some bad news for you. I said, the bad news is you're not going to fit in with everybody. I don't care how hard you try. I said, but the good news is the great ones never do. And the problem is that you are spending so much of your time trying to do something that you weren't even put on this earth to do, which is to be like everybody else. And let me give you a couple examples that'll show you how teenagers are making decisions. And these happen to be girls, but I have examples from guys too. How teenagers are making decisions to have sex, and it's not even what they want to do. So the first one was the 8th grade class. One young lady said, Miss Jackie, if we can't have sex with our boyfriends, what can we do to make him like us? And I said, what? She said, yeah, if we can't have sex with them, what can we do to make them like us? So another girl on one side of her said, yeah, what about oral sex? Can we do oral sex? And I said, oral sex is sex. That's why it's in the name. And then the other girl on the other side said, well, what about a hand job? Can we give him a hand job? And I said, why do you have to do anything to make somebody like you? I'm like, you don't understand. First of all, you're the prize. And I said, that's so much work to try to make somebody like you instead of saying, you know what, I'm the prize. I hope I like him. I don't, I'll meet somebody else. But I said, that's a lot of work. But an example that I think is even more sad is a college student that I talked to who said when she had sex with her boyfriend, after the sex was over, she would go in the bathroom and take a million showers. And she said because it brought back, it would give her flashbacks of her uncle raping her when she was 14. And so during the conversation, I made a comment about the fact that I would love to talk to her boyfriend because if I could talk to her boyfriend, I would ask him, why would you be putting her in that situation? And she said, no, I wouldn't want you to talk to him because sex wasn't his idea. I was the one who initiated the sex. And I said, so why would you initiate something that causes you that much trauma and that much stress? She said, because all guys want sex. I just wanted to make him happy. And, here you have a girl, not only is she not making a decision because that's what she wanted to do, she is making a decision to do something that's causing her, stress, trauma, and making her uncomfortable just because that's what she thinks she has to do to please somebody else or to make somebody else happy. The other conversation I have with them in the class is I talk about, a speaker I heard say one day, he said the biggest fear in life isn't death, the biggest fear in life is rejection. And when I say that, the students are all like, I believe that. I agree. And another thing the speaker said was that most people don't even know who they are because they only know themselves about 20% because only about 20% of their decisions are based on what they really want to do or who they really are. The other 80% is based on who they think they have to be in order to be accepted or the decisions they think they have to make in order to be accepted. When I say that, that resonates with the students. They're like, yeah, you're right. So that's a much bigger issue than, trying to get a teenager to stop having sex because you're trying to get them to avoid an STD. If you can help them understand about being authentic and only making choices that they want to, to do what they want to do, choices that honor them, that choices that will help them become successful and reach it changes their whole motivation for their decisions because it's like, I'm going to do me, and anybody who's not okay with me doing me and making decisions that benefit me, they don't deserve to be in my life. It's a totally different conversation, and it's a conversation that we have to have with kids.